What is up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll cover the interview questions that TCS asks every year that are important questions, and I'll cover DBMS and OOPS interview questions in this video. And this is the most important video, or can say important topics of interview that can be asked to every student, but this is very important for non-CS or IT students to read and learn these topics to crack the TCS interview. Okay, so let's start. See, the very first and common questions are on DBMS. I'll cover the DBMS questions first, and then I'll cover the OOPS questions. So advantages of DBMS. What is DBMS first of all? So DBMS is a database management system. Database. See, I am explaining this for non-CS or IT students because obviously they don't know much about CS or IT subject. So if you are a CS or IT student, then you can skip this part of video while I'm explaining. Okay, so DBMS stands for Database Management System. Okay, now what is DBMS? What is database first of all? So database is nothing but a place where all your data is stored, and this whole system, like the software to manage this database, is called database management system. Okay, I hope that is clear. Now, what is advantage of DBMS? Now, database management system is important because it improves our data security, because no other person can access our data. Next, better data integration. This is one of the best advantage of DBMS. Minimize data inconsistency. The next advantage is improve data access. Um, See, if there is a file system, so there are various folders, and in that folder there are again various files. So you don't know which file is in which folder. If you are accessing that file system after a month or after an year, so you will not remember which file is in which folder. So that is quite hard to find that, right? So if all our data is stored in the database, then we can access our data quite easily, because we'll write a query and the database will give us the required data that we want. So this is this is the advantage of using DBMS, that is improved data access. Next, improve decision making. This is one of the again advantage of DBMS. And the next is increased end user productivity. So these are few advantages of DBMS. I suggest you for interview, just remember: first, data security; second, improve data access; third is improved decision making. And yeah, if you remember just three of these what that I told, you are good to go. Like, the interviewer doesn't want you to answer everything, they just want that you must have a little bit knowledge of that. So this is it. And also I suggest you people, especially if you are a non-CS or IT student, that is, if you are a civil engineering student, or ETC or EE, or mechanical, or whatever. So just note down these points, like pause the video and note down these points. Next, the next important questions that is asked in TCS interview every year is how many types of database languages are. There are how many types? So there are, first of all, there are 4 types of database languages, and this fourth one is not commonly asked. Only these first 3 languages are only asked like very commonly, and I'll tell you. Okay, data definition language, that is DDL language. We call it as short form in DDL language. Okay, so what is data definition language? The commands such as create, alter, drop, truncate, rename, etc. All these commands are used for updating the data. That is why they are known as data definition language. Now see, we are using this command for updating the data, not manipulating the updated data. Okay, that means if there is a database, first of all we are creating a data table. There is a table and we can drop the table. So these are few commands that you have to remember while answering this question. So because without which your answer will not be complete in the interview. So create. Okay, so for DDL, just remember like this: CADTR. CADTR. Create, alter, drop, truncate, and rename. You just have to remember this commands. CADTR. Okay, remember the short form so that you will remember the commands to answer. Now, data manipulation language, which is DML. So, okay, if we created a table in the database, next we have to, if we have to update that table, that update the values of that table, or insert a new row or delete a row or whatever, or select that table or row, then these commands are known as DML commands, that is data manipulation language, because we are manipulating or we are changing the database that we just created using DDL. So we are just changing the, for example, if I wrote Vaishnavi as name in the database table, and so on, then I have to update this name. So I'll use update command. Okay, these commands are used for manipulation of already updated data. That's why they are the part of data manipulation language. Next, data control language. uh, Grant and revoke, these 2 commands you have to remember it. Now grant and revoke is, these commands are used for giving and removing the user access of on that database. See, suppose there is a database and there are 2 persons, and this database belongs to this person, and this other person wants to access this database. So the first person will grant the permission or revoke the permission to give access to other person. So this is called grant and revoke commands, and this comes under data control language. Next, TCL, that is transaction control language. So commit, rollback, and save point are some of the commands that come under transaction control language. These are the commands used for managing transactions in the database. TCL is used for managing the changes made by DML. Next, what is join? Join. It is most commonly used way to combine information from 2 or more relations. A join is always performed on the basis of same or related column. This is very very important, because the interviewer will ask you like the question like can you use join on different or non-related columns? So the answer is no. The join is always performed on basis of the same or related column only. Okay. Now, what are different types of joins in SQL? So there are 4 types of SQL joins: inner join, left join, right join, and full join. Okay. So what is inner join? Inner join is used to fetch data among the tables which are common in both the tables. See, I'll explain it here. This is table 1 and this is table 2, and there is some data which is common in both the tables, that is table 1 and table 2. So using inner join, we will get this common data from 2 different tables. This is called inner join. Next, what is left join? So this returns all the rows from the table which is on the left side of the join, but only the matching rows from the table which is on the right side of the join. Okay, see, this is the left table. See, this is the left table because it is on the left side, and this is the right table because it is on our right side of the hand. Okay, now this left join is saying that this will return all the tables or all the rows and columns or all the data from the left side, and only that data which is common in the right side of the table will be returned. Because see, left side whole rows will be whole data will be returned, and from right table only the data that is common in both left and right will be returned. Okay, I hope that is clear. Next, right join. See, right join is opposite to left join only. In this, the whole data of right side will be returned, and only the matching column or data from the left table will be returned. Okay, the data that is not matching or the rows that is not matching from the left table will be ignored. Okay, next, full join. This returns the rows from all the tables on which the join condition has put, and the rows which do not match hold null values. See, it will return all the rows from both the tables, and if there is a data, for example, there is a name Bruno here and there is same name Bruno here. Okay, and again there is a name cat, and here dog. See, now this data and this data from 2 different tables are similar, so this will be returned, and this will also be returned but with a null value. Okay, it holds null values. See, I'll read it again. This returns the rows from all the tables on which the join condition has put, and the rows which do not match holds null value. Next, explain acid properties. Acid property, again, this is a very important question asked in DBMS for any interviews, like for any company's interview, not only TCS, but this is also important for few more companies. So we'll see. You can mark it as a very much important question. See, what is acid properties? Acid properties are some basic rules which has to be satisfied by every transaction to preserve the integrity. These properties are rules and rules are, see, you don't have to remember this, like what is this and whatever. You just have to remember what does A stands for, C stands for, I stands for, and D stands for. So A stands for atomicity. Now, what is atomicity? Atomicity is more generally known as all or nothing rule. You have to remember this, all or nothing rule, which implies all are considered as one unit and they either run to completion or not executed at all. See, there if there are some set of commands in transaction A, there this is a transaction A, for example, and there are some set of commands or instructions, you can say. Now atomicity says that either all the commands will get executed or nothing will be executed. This is what all or nothing rule says. I hope that is clear. Next, consistency. This property refers to the uniformity of the data. Consistency implies that the database is consistent before and after the transaction. See, if there is a transaction A and there is a transaction B, and I have a variable X or value X, I read it, so I write an instruction like read X, and here also read X. Okay, now okay, I am also reading a variable read Y, and then I am updating Y, and after this I have updated the value of Y, and then in transaction B at the same time I am reading Y value. So if the X value is 5 and Y value is 5, now the both the transactions read 5 and 5 for X values, that is okay. Next, transaction A is reading again a value 5 and updating it. So if we updated the Y value with 6, and then this transaction B is reading this. So what will it read? It will read Y as 6, not Y as 5. So this is what inconsistency means. Like the data should be inconsistent because this transaction is not committed yet. If this is committed before the transaction B is reading this Y value, then there would be no harm in this. But if you are reading a wrong value, then your whole transaction will be wrong. So this is what consistency means. This property refers to the uniformity of the data. Consistency implies that the database is consistent before and after the transaction. Isolation. This property states that the number of transactions can be executed concurrently without leading to the inconsistency of the database. See, isolation means they are saying that transaction A and transaction B should be run on isolation, like these the values used here will not affect here. Okay, this is what isolation means. Durability. This property ensures that once the transaction is committed, it will be stored in the non-volatile memory, and system crash can also not affect it anymore. See, after the transaction is committed, that is saved in general words. So it should be stored in a non-volatile memory, and if even if the system crash occurs, we have our committed data as it is. Committed data is the same. Okay, this is what acid property means. I tried to explain it with very easy manner, so if please like my video if you liked it actually. And yeah, let's see another question. Now from here I'm starting the oops question that is related to object oriented programming. So now what is class? See, I know you are, if you are a CS or IT student watching this video, this is a very basic question, but these questions are quite commonly asked to non-CS or IT students, those who don't know anything about or have a little knowledge about CS or IT student subjects. So yeah, this video is basically for them, and also CS or IT students can watch it. So yeah. Oh, now what is a class? A class is simply a representation of a type of object. It is the blueprint, plan, template that describes the details of an object. Don't remember this definition. Just remember a class is a blueprint of an object. You just have to remember this much. This is enough. And with this, give an example, so that giving examples in the interview shows that you know the answer correctly, and the interviewer will not ask you tricky questions on that. So give examples. Now for those who don't know what is a class, see, if there is a class animal. See, animal is a class, and what are the objects then? Objects can be dog, cat, lion, and so on. So these are the objects, and animal is a class because see, animal has four legs, two eyes, one mouth, and so on. So this is a blueprint, see, on which all the objects will depend. So this is a blueprint. So animal is a class, and dogs, cats, or lion, or any other animal, like any other, will come under the class animal. Okay, I hope that is clear. So you just have to remember a class is a blueprint of an object, and this is the very best example you can give them. What is an object? See, as I told in the previous slides, dog, cat, lion, or any other animal are considered as objects of class animal. So what is an object? An object is an instance of a class. See, class is a blueprint. Just learn it. I'm saying just learn it. And object is an instance of class. You just have to say like a class is a blueprint of an object, and object is an instance of a class. See, instance in the sense, this is an instance, this is an instance, this is an instance, like a part, a small part of that class. Okay. So this is what object means. Now it has its own state, behavior, and identity. For example, again I'll take the same example. Animal is a class. Dog is an object. Cat is an object. Now it has its own state. Dog is different from cat. Cat is different from dog. Yeah. Now behavior. Now for example, dog barks. Does cat barks? No. cat doesn't bark. So that is behavior. It has different behaviors. The objects have different behaviors from each other, but they are an instance of a class because they comes under a class. Okay, this is what object means. Next, define data abstraction. Now this is very commonly asked questions in OOPS. Okay, so data abstraction means displaying only essential information and hiding the details. Data abstraction refers to the providing only essential information about the data to the outside world, hiding the background details or implementation. Now we'll consider a real life example. See, as I told, give the interviewers example while giving answers. See, what does data abstraction means? See, if you are driving a car, okay, this is a car, okay. So if you are driving a car, next you just know like while pressing the accelerators, speed of the car will increase, and while pressing the brakes the car will stop. But do you know what is the mechanism that is going inside the car, like how pressing the brake will stop the car? Do you know inside mechanism? No. This is what data abstraction means. The user will know only the upper part of that, like, thing or information. The upper essential information is only given to the users and not the mechanism. The mechanism is like hidden, like um, for example, as I gave the same example, we'll read it so you'll understand it more clearly. The man who knows that pressing accelerators will increase the speed of a car or applying brakes will stop the car, but he does not know about how on pressing accelerators the speed is actually increasing. He does not know about the inner mechanism of the car or implementation of the accelerator, brakes, etc. in the car. This is what abstraction is. So I hope that is clear to you. Now, there are three important levels of data abstraction. These three you should remember, like physical, logical, and view. Now, this is very easy. I'll explain. Physical. This is the lowest level of data abstraction. Okay, this is the lowest level. It tells how data is actually stored in memory. Next, logical. This level comprises of the information that is actually stored in the database in the form of tables. And view, this is the highest level of abstraction. Only a part of actual database is viewed by the users. See, in the physical layer, you have to remember first, it is the lowest level of data abstraction. And second thing you have to remember, how data is stored in database. What in database is physical level tells us how data is stored in the database. Okay, next, logical will tell what data is stored. What data is stored. See, physical level tells how data is stored, and logical level will tells what data is stored, how and what. Okay, now logical is the second level of data abstraction, second level, or you can say middle level of data abstraction. Next, what is view? This is the highest level of abstraction. Only a part of actual database is viewed by the users. See, we are the users, and as I told in the abstraction, like we just know a part of that, like there is a break and we just know that break, but we don't know the like the mechanism. So this is what view level does. Okay. uh, Only a part of actual database is viewed by the users. Next, what is inheritance? Now inheritance is a very common question again. So inheritance is a concept where one class shares the structure and behavior defined in another class. If inheritance applied to one class is called single inheritance, and if it depends on multiple classes, then it is called multiple inheritance. See, don't remember this definition. I'll tell you in simple words. See, for example, you have your father and mother. They have their own traits, they have their own characteristics, okay, but you as their son or daughter will have characteristics, like son or daughter will have characteristics of both mother as well as father, because you are inheriting that characters from your father. For example, if many people says like you look like your mother or you behave like your father. So this is what inheritance means, like we are inheriting the characters from our mother, characteristics, and also from our father. This is what inheritance mean. So this is all about this video. I know this video is quite long, but if you want to crack your interview of TCS, you must read this very clearly and you have to remember these points. Like, and one more important thing, like give examples while giving the answers in the interview. Okay. So yeah, if you like the video, please hit the like button. Also, please subscribe my channel, because I'm working hard for you people and I expect some help from you too. So please help me by subscribing my channel. Yeah, let's meet in the next video. Bye bye.